Do you know the difference between an asset and liability? If not, make sure you watch this video to the end and follow the action step so you can start securing your financial future and asset collection. Hey, Jason here. If you're new to the channel, I've been an expat/nomad for 10 years now. One of the things I started sharing is what I've learned along this 10-year experience, plus how I was able to do this successfully. And in case you're thinking about becoming an expat or already one, why you should be looking into the southern region of Africa. This is where I reside now. And so today is day 8 of financial literacy, the 2-Goal Challenge, where we're talking about how to increase your financial literacy to get you one step closer to your financial freedom. And so today we are speaking about assets versus liabilities. And this is very crucial because a lot of us are not familiar with what is the difference between assets and liabilities. And in fact, a lot of us are confusing liabilities with assets. And so hopefully the goal is by the end of this video that you will be able to understand the difference between the two. And once you do the action step, you should be able to start seeing, are you accumulating more liabilities or are you accumulating more assets? And so let's go ahead and get started. Now YouTube, if you're watching this, you are seeing this about 2 days behind from the actual filming. If you want to see this live, you are more than welcome to follow me over at TikTok at JasonChaney777. That way you can participate live and you can actually ask questions while I am doing this. And so TikTok, if you want to be able to catch the replay, just go over to JasonChaney777 and you'll be able to catch the video. I have all of them down there and they will be in a playlist called the 30-Day Financial Goal. And hey, how you doing, Brother Mo? And so the thing about assets versus liabilities, do you really know what it is? Because some things can be an asset and some things can be a liability. They can be interchanged depending on how you're actually utilizing it. And so first, let's actually define the word asset, and then we're going to define liability. This is very important because we need to start understanding what these words mean. We cannot just keep thinking just because school taught us these words that we actually know exactly how those words apply to our life. And so what is an asset? An asset is a resource, tangible or intangible, that holds some monetary value that can be exploited by its owner. The asset may produce income such as rental fees or may produce a profit if sold, such as stocks or jewelry. For an individual or a family, assets may include a home, savings account, investments accounts, and personal possessions that have intrinsic value. Now, all of these are very good examples. And now let's go to liability. A liability is something that a person or company owes, usually a sum of money. Liabilities are settled over time through the transfer of economic benefits, including money, goods, or services. So the same way how we just described in the asset definition, that an asset such as your home, a home can be an asset, it can also be a liability too. If you're not getting the right mortgage, if you can't afford your mortgage, it has become a liability. It is no longer an asset. That goes for car notes also. Actually, most cars, when people buy them, they are a liability. They're not an asset at all. And the reason why they're not an asset is once you buy a car brand new, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it loses anywhere from 20 to 40% of its value, depending on the make and model of the car. And then on top of that, the car is not earning you money if you're using it as a personal driver. You're continually deteriorating the car, and you're also bringing down the value. So most cars are liabilities. However, let's say if you bought a used car and you pay cash for it, and then you put it on a car driving service such as Yango, Uber, Lyft, InDrive. Now that car is an asset because it is producing revenue for you. And so that is how things can be interchanged. Now, I'm going to give you 3 examples of assets that I do actually use to show you that they're all over the place of what can be an asset. And it's going to actually surprise you. And so for YouTube, I don't want to take too much of your time today. The main thing for today is just to start becoming aware of assets and liabilities. Start looking around your home and start seeing what are the things that you own. Are they assets? Are they liabilities? If you have a car, is that car really an asset or a liability? Is your home an asset or a liability? You have to start looking at things and start understanding where they actually fit in your financial life. Because then that's how you can figure out, okay, this is how I can get out of the debt that I'm in or get out of the where it feel like you're sinking. I've been there. I understand how it feels. Like I say, I've done payday loans. I did car title loans before. I used to pawn stuff just to make sure I had petrol for my car. I understand. And also, like, I'm a big car person, so I've had plenty of cars in my life, and a lot of those cars was just liabilities. That's why one of the reasons I stopped buying cars from car lots and I just started buying cars cash. Once I realized how much of a liability getting a car note is, plus the insurance on top, I was like, hey, Joyful Auntie, how you doing? That's why I started just buying cash for cars. People thought I was crazy back when I was doing it. Like, oh, why don't you get something new? That car's old. Like when I bought my 1984 Volvo 240, I paid $300 for it. People thought I was crazy. People made fun of me. People would laugh at me. I didn't care. I was like, dude, you can laugh all you want. At the end of the day, this car is doing what it's supposed to do. It's getting me from point A to point B. While they were focused on being in their situation, living right there for that moment, I was focused financially on, okay, man, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, where will I be? And that's how you want to actually start seeing things. And so like that Volvo turned out to be an asset. When I sold it 2 years later, I actually sold it for $600, more money than I paid for it. And I think I only put about $100 in it to actually keep it going. Meaning I did the oil change, I changed like the alternate, the parts were dirt cheap. And the car was over 20 years old, the parts were dirt cheap. And so a lot of people didn't understand the method, the method of my mayhem. And that's why I've always been into buying used cars and just, put a little bit of money into it, fix it up, make sure it's good to go. Now I don't buy lemons, because now if you buy a lemon, then that used car is going to be a huge liability. That did happen to me in Panama. Share this story with you. In Panama, I bought a 1985 Mustang. Because from my knowledge and my experience buying used cars, it was always easy to get parts for them and the parts were cheaper. But what I didn't realize, I'm no longer in the United States. My mind wasn't clicking correctly because I wasn't aware of this. And so it was actually cheaper to buy newer cars than buy old cars, because now old cars are antiques and you don't want to have an antique when you're overseas because you have to ship all of those parts in. And so things were getting very expensive. That's why I ended up giving that car away to a buddy of mine in Panama. I think he still have it to this day. And so that shows you how, like, even with the knowledge that I have in the U.S., I was purchasing assets. But when I started first living overseas, I was actually purchasing liabilities and didn't realize it. And it did financially set me back. That was a lot of money that I wasted on an antique car, thinking that I knew what I was doing. And so you want to actually understand it. The exercise for today is look around your home and list 3 things and decide if it's an asset or a liability. And just be honest with yourself. This is between you and yourself. Like you can maybe like, is your TV an asset or a liability? Is like, okay, I have an Xbox that's sitting right here. For me, it's a liability, meaning it doesn't make me money. I'm not gaming, I'm not streaming on it. Now, if I was doing game streaming and stuff, if I ever start setting it up, then it'll become an asset because now it's something that can produce revenue for me. But as long as it doesn't produce revenue, it's a liability. Even the house that I'm renting, because I'm renting, it's a liability. It's me spending money out. It's not bringing me money back in. But the goal is in 5 to 10 years from now, when I have my own rental properties available, then it doesn't matter because I'll have so many assets and the rental income that it doesn't matter where I'm living because that is paying for me to live. And that goes into the biggest asset that you can actually start doing is focusing on multiple streams of income, MSIs. MSIs is very important. That is the language of the rich. Rich people focus on multiple streams of income. They do not have just one source of income. They do not rely on just their job. And this is where when people are like, oh, do what you're passionate about. No, you need to focus on things that can get you money, however many things it is. Preferably the things that take less of your time are the best ways to actually create MSIs. So, what are some of the assets that I have? Now, I just showed you some of the liabilities, but what are some of the assets? I actually purchased silver. I purchased silver bullion, which means silver 1 ounce coins. Because here I haven't found a reputable dealer that have silver coins, I now also do silver stocks. So one of the places where I purchase my silver coins, I purchase their stocks, and I get a dividend back every single quarter. So that is an asset for me because that is something that is paying me. Silver always goes up. Eventually, I'm going to move into gold also because gold is going to always go up. Now, one of the other things where I have assets is with this. Where's my other one? Where are you, buddy? Oh, here you go. This right here. This is a Bitcoin lotto miner. This one's not connected. I'm actually going to take the circuit board down and check some things out. I think I had a short in it, but I have another one that's going right over here. Let me let you see TikTok. And let me let you see YouTube. That one right there. And so what that is an asset. Because I have a 10 to 20 year projection on it. Hey, how you doing, Agnes? And what I mean by that is, once I'm able to solve a blockchain, as I'm even adding on and purchasing more, once I'm able to add a blockchain, if it took me 20 years, I am in the profit. Not just in the profit, I am way in the profit because electricity rates are so much more affordable here in Zambia than other parts of the world. So where a lot of other people that does blockchain mining or spending so much money on electricity, I'm not anywhere near what their costs are in electricity. So that gives me more time to be able to go slower, but also invest longer. And that just means it's an asset for me. And so this is the second asset. The third asset that I have is the one that I'm working on now. I am focusing on creating 100 financial literacy children's books by the end of this year. I just finished one coloring book. I have another book that is going. Let me see, where is it at? It's called The Magic Acorn, and this is teaching about the power of compounding when it comes to finances. And what I mean by why am I creating 100 books? Each of those books is a separate MSI, a multiple stream of income. That means that's 100 streams just from the children's books once I have all 100 up and running. And let's say if I'm just charging $1 per book for a digital download. The books don't have to be perfect. There can be mistakes in it. Those things do not matter. Please listen to me on this. When you're creating your assets, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can always improve it later on. And the people who've already purchased, you can give them the improved version for free. Most people are going to want to still purchase it because they're going to want to support your hard work. But look at it from this perspective. Once I create those 100 books, now let's just say if I did all 100 in English, I can go now, take those same books that I've already done, and now convert it to where I'm putting a secondary language in there, whether it's Zulu, Venda, Kosa, Nyanja, and Bimba. That's 5 languages. That now from just that original 100 books, just by doing that simple thing of translating them into other languages, 5 other languages, now turned that 100 to 500. That means now where if I sold 100 copies, if I had 100 people buy one copy, that's 100 bucks. Now if I have 100 people buying 5 copies, that's 500 bucks. That's a lot of money coming in from something as simple as writing children's books. And no, I'm not sitting here writing, scripting it out. I'm literally programming the AI to do it. So let me show you this. And this is what the screen looks like right now. This is what the cover illustration looks like. Like something very, very simple. And you're just going through, okay, I got to change that. I just saw that. But all you have to do is prompt it. It takes some time, yes. And it's something as simple as that is producing an asset. Don't just look at assets from what the rich buy. Oh, I need to buy these famous cars. I need to buy these Rolexes or the Pateks. No, when you get to that level, you get to that level. But in the beginning, start focusing on small assets. Like anyone can buy a silver coin. I think a silver coin right now, spot price is about, I think maybe 32 US dollars per ounce. That's not that bad. When I first started, the spot price for silver was about $23. I wish I would have known about it when it was at $10, but I didn't. So even now, you have the opportunity to start collecting assets. You do not want to have too many liabilities under your name, because the more liabilities, the liabilities is what causes Murphy's Law, because it's things you're just spending money to. You're spending money. They don't give you any intrinsic value. And that's what that whole thing about intrinsic value. Like the silver coins have intrinsic value. Like it never loses its value. It only gains value. And silver is one of the most undervalued minerals. Not minerals. Natural metals. Is it? Man, what is the name I'm looking? Precious metals. I'm sorry. It's one of the most undervalued precious metals right now, and so it's still a bargain purchasing silver by the ounce. You can also get into different cryptos. Like right now, I'm looking into a meme crypto. I'm not going to say the name of it because it's a gamble for most people. But for me, I've done enough research in it. I'm seeing what the white papers are saying to where I'm going to purchase a small amount, meaning small amount of money, but it will be a big little chunk of coins that I'm getting in return for purchasing so early, to where then I just sit on it and wait. Like with Shiba Inu, I have over 11 million coins of that meme coin. Once it hits 50 cents or even 25 cents a coin, I'm selling. Like I have no reason to hold on to it. It's going to make me so much money that it's such a huge asset once it reaches so long, that little magic number. And that's the way I'm going to do with this new meme coin. Now I will say this: if you're looking into getting into Bitcoin, Bitcoin is a liability. If you didn't get into Bitcoin when it was dirt cheap, Bitcoin is a liability now. You need to understand with crypto, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of those big ones, it is not as easy of an investment as people are trying to sell it as. A lot of people are getting in, they don't understand, you don't know how to stake it, you don't know how to get it to earn extra money for you, you don't even know how to spend it. And so because of that, I do want you to understand, utilizing Bitcoin for the average everyday person, purchasing Bitcoin is from the average everyday person, you are purchasing a liability. It's not a bad thing. Like I do purchase Bitcoin when it dips. Every time it falls, I purchase a little bit of pieces at a time. But I have a little magic number that I'm reaching, and once it reaches that number, I'm pumping the brakes on Bitcoin, because I do have a future prediction of how far up it's going to go in value. But like even with that, like you need to be educating yourself. So even with assets, you have to educate yourself on them. And don't just listen to people on the internet. That's why I'm not telling you certain meme coins I'm investing in. That's why I'm telling you straight up, Bitcoin is a liability, and just be careful with it. The stock markets can be a good asset. If you're getting a dividend payback, it is an asset, even if you're not in the black yet, because that dividend will be paid to you for the lifetime of that company, which will most likely be way past your life, and that's something you can pass on to your children. So I do recommend investing in dividend paying stocks. If you're here in Zambia, you should definitely be looking into the Lusaka Stock Exchange. There's some really good deals right now, man. Like, it's some really good deals right now. You need to educate yourself on it. There's there's a lot of people on TikTok that are teaching it and explaining things about it. So definitely do your homework. Even getting into government bonds and trust, that is something that you can utilize. All of these different things. There's more assets out here if you know where to go look for them. But because this stuff is not taught in school, a lot of us do not have a clue of where to look and find assets. Most of us think the only asset we can get is a car and a home. And unless your home is providing you rental income, or unless you bought it at a very low to where the value of it jumped up so much, it is not an asset. It's a liability. Even when I had my home back in DeSoto, Texas, I purchased it at $145,000. even though I was paying heavily off of the principal, I didn't make money off of it. It was not the asset that I thought it was going to be. I just knew I was going to make a lot of money off of it. And truth be told, I just broke even. It was a liability. And that was a really hard pill to swallow. And so TikTok, just hold on, let me close out YouTube. YouTube, if you would like to listen more and see more of the behind the scenes things that we're talking about on TikTok, what we're about to actually go through is, I found what I was talking about yesterday, where it was As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And so I just wanted to read that part to the people on TikTok just to help them understand that better. But if you want to be able to see all of that on from you watching on YouTube, make sure you go over and follow me on Jason Chaney 777 on TikTok. And there you can be a part of the live and you can be asking questions. Also, in TikTok, if you want to be able to catch the replay of this, just go over to YouTube, Jason Chaney 777. Now, let me just tell you right before I close out, this is the exercise for today. Go around your house and look at three things and ask yourself, is it an asset or a liability? Three things that you own. Is it an asset or a liability? Do you have a savings account? That can be an asset for you. Do you have a credit card? That can be a liability for you if you don't know how to use it correctly. Or it can be an asset if you use it properly. All of those different things. Go through and start asking yourself these questions. Is it an asset or a liability? And write it down. If you have something and you're not sure, we can go to more detail about it. If you're on TikTok, just shoot me a DM and we can talk and break it down a little bit more for you. If you're on YouTube, just ask questions down here in the comments and I will get back to you. And just remember this, YouTube, I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.